Adrian,
David.
thanks for sharing your time and coming down to the drying grain. What a unique project. There's lots of angles, lots of green grass right in the middle of the City of Sydney Council. There's lots going on in this job.
Absolutely. It's a very busy project.
So SmartMix 2 is our premium turf root zone mix. It's what was used underneath all the turf here. We brought in approximately 750 tonne. What would you say in an area like this the challenges would be for turf?
The primary challenge that we've got here is the wear. On a busy day, the foot traffic is quite significant here, so you really need a turf underlay to have the structural performance and the hydroconductivity to be able to take that wear and to drain properly and establish good root growth, and that's fundamental to the turf health.
So Adrian, on top of the green roof, our SmartMix 4 was used. You've got quite a shallow profile of about 300 or 400 mil. And the SmartMix 4 would have been used because it was free draining and lightweight. Does that make sense in regards to the application?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, one of the requirements for a green roof is to reduce the load, so obviously that's got an engineering consequence on the built structure, which has a cost implication as well. But also you want a free draining as well, and that's another good reason we use your product, because of its draining capability. We want it to be able to free drain so it doesn't slump or become inorganic at any time, and that does have an impact on the success of a green roof. So there's quite a few things to unpack there, and it's the drainage, it's the stable organics, and it's also the weight, and all of those components are key ingredients for a green roof.
Okay, so there was some pretty stringent quality control measures around the materials coming in, because in the past it was a contaminated site. So is that where you have what's called a remediation action plan that's in place on site? So anything that comes in has to go through a really strict quality control process, make sure there's no contamination, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a standard requirement for a contaminated site, that we adopt and take over a remediation action plan, and we have a third-party hygienist that ensures that we follow that plan, and that any materials that we bring to site conform to the requirements of that plan, so they need to be validated.
It's interesting to note that we do, as a company, we invite hygienists, etc., to come down to our sites to do the initial testing there. It's always good to get it approved at the source before you start bringing it into site, to avoid any potential issues on site. So the drying grain's a really interesting project in regards to water-sensitive urban design. I can see you've got the wetland areas. I've been underneath where I'm standing, and there's all sorts of filters, etc. happening. There's big pipes. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Definitely improving the water quality outcomes for this project was a key objective. It functions in a way that we intercept the trunk drainage for Green Square, which would typically go out to Botany Bay. So we put a diversion pit in, we intercept that water, and then we pump it through this site over a 3-day period to clean it. Then we test the water, and if it's not up to the water quality standards that we want, we'll put it through another filtration system with sand, charcoal and UV filtration to get the water quality outcomes before we put it back into the drainage system that goes out to Botany Bay. So for us, it's integral that everything we put in this wetland system functions at the highest level.
Adrian, thanks very much for your time,
Thanks,
showing
Dave.
us the drying grain. What a great project for Regal Innovations, and a fantastic asset for the City of Sydney.